Okay, so I'm just going to, so for an application of network flows so this is, where did I go? Yep. So this is a problem, that's annoying. This is a problem that doesn't at first sound like a network flow problem. This is 26-3 in the textbook, Algorithmic Consulting. Professor Gore wants to open up an algorithmic consulting company. He has identified n important sub-areas of algorithms, roughly corresponding to different portions of this textbook, which he represents by the set A1 through AN. In each sub-area AK, he can hire an expert in that area for CK dollars. So expert in area AK costs CK dollars. Right. In order to the consulting company has lined up a set J, J1 through JM of potential jobs. In order to perform job J, the company needs to have hired experts in a subset R. Oh, so this is, I put J, this says JI. So I put JK. Job JK requires experts in areas in RK, which is a subset of this. So it requires some of the experts of sub-areas. Each expert can work on, oh, right. And, okay. Each expert can work on multiple jobs simultaneously. If the company chooses to accept a job JK, say, it must have hired experts in all of this RK, in all of the RK areas, and it will generate revenue of PK dollars. Professor Gore's job is to determine which sub-areas to hire experts in and which jobs to accept in order to maximize the net revenue, which is the total income from jobs accepted minus the total cost of employing the experts. So, how do you turn this into a flow problem? So you have these areas, you have these, so for each area you have an expert which costs CK dollars for the expert in area AK. You have these jobs and they require, each job requires a certain number, a certain subset of the experts and generates PK dollars. And you ignore, it's assumed that experts can work on arbitrarily many things at once. Let's ignore how realistic that is. Okay, consider the following flow network G. It contains a source vertex S, vertices A1 through AN, vertices J1 through JM, and a sink vertex T. So okay, basically it connects S to AK, and the capacity is CK, so the cost of hiring that expert. And it connects J up to T with capacity PI, so the profit from that job. And it connects each expert to the job that expert is required for by an edge of infinite capacity. Okay, so for example, if these are the areas, the experts, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this expert costs $5, this expert costs $5, $6, $2, $5, and all of these edges are labeled infinity. And then the first job brings in $7, the second job $4, the third job $3, the fourth job $6. So the first job just requires the first expert. The second job requires the first and second. The third one just the third expert, and the fourth one the third, fourth, and fifth experts. Okay. How do you find out which jobs to take? And I was thinking I'm going to try to explain why this works, but I don't think, I'm going to try to give some intuition why. But basically what you do, you find a maximum flow, and then you look for the cut. And so this is the maximum flow, this is the residual network, here is the cut. And then you look at the sum of the edges of the capacities in the residual network of the well, okay, the jobs, the experts you hire and the jobs that you take are the ones that are in T. Okay, so you find the min cut. So it's this one where you don't have any positive capacity edges going from S to T. So it looks like this is weird because this one is going, but look, it's actually going from T to S. So it looks like it's infinite, but it's not. So the reason this, and so this is going to maximize your profit. Why does this work? Well, so I don't have time to really go into it, but the idea is if you have a bunch of experts who can do some jobs, and those experts sort of pay for themselves. And so these jobs require these experts, and these experts you can. So for example, this expert pays for themselves because you can charge the cost of this expert to the profit of the job that you can perform. So that means if there's a subset of experts, subset of jobs, these experts can do these jobs, and the total profit from these jobs is greater than the total cost of these experts, then that means that the edges going from these jobs to T, that capacity, they have leftover capacity. That leftover is how much you're going to profit, okay? Because you're allocating the cost of the experts across the jobs, and you can allocate the total cost of the experts, and there's money left over, right? Just so it's from the jobs. So that's extra capacity. So that means the cut, because there's in the residual network, the cut. There aren't any edges going from S to T, because if there were, there would be an augmenting path, blah, blah. So any such edge, this 5/7, because there's a 2 here, the cut can't go through that. The cut can't separate that. So if there are jobs which look to be profitable, which means that you're getting money out of those, then you have to take those. And the cut can't go through any of these infinite edges. It seems to be going through this one, but this is because it's going from T to S. It can't go through any infinite edge that goes from S to T, because otherwise there would be a positive capacity edge going from S to T, and you're not allowed to have that in the residual network. So that means that if a job is profitable, you have to take it has to be in T, and if a job is in T, then all of the experts, because you can't, if some job is in T, then you can't cut the you can't cut here because these are infinite capacities. So there's always an edge going from. The only way you can cut these infinite things is if you put the experts in T. So it turns out anyway. This is not how I wanted to end the course. Network flows, so I wanted to have this example of something that you can do with network flows that doesn't seem like a flow problem. I mean, it's sort of like it's the same flavor we've had throughout the whole course with reductions, where you would take something and you turn it into a problem that maybe it didn't look like in the first place. So you could solve things by turning them into SAT. There weren't logic problems to begin with, but you turn them into that. So this is the same thing here. It's useful to learn about network flows because a lot of things can be solved with network flows, even though they don't seem to have a network. So, for example, in this problem, until we added the source vertex and the sink, there were just some experts and some jobs, and it sounded really, it didn't sound like an easy problem. So, so that's one example of something. It doesn't seem. I mean, the bipartite matching is it's not too hard to see that how to turn that into a network flow problem. This is a bit more intricate. I don't know. Maybe you do network flows in another course. So that's the end of the content of the course. So I'll do a review on Wednesday, I guess. Well, I guess I'll record it and post it before Wednesday. So for the exam, I think that, so I should do this for the review and tell you about the exam during the review. Okay, so I should go and post this now, and then I should get back to trying to mark scribe notes. Good. So this is a blindingly fast introduction to network flows. Yeah, good luck with assignment 6. You don't need to know this for the last question of assignment 6. So this is just so you have the network, you find a maximum flow, you look at the, you find the minimum cut using, and by magic you get the jobs you should take and the experts you should hire. Okay. Thank you for being, well, I'll see you again on Wednesday. Well, I won't, but I mean, as much as I'm seeing you now. Okay, cheers.